yarn lovers, it's Gary and I'm coming to you from my happy place, the Yarn Corner here on Vancouver Island in Canada. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today's my second recording of the day. So we are still on Saturday, July the 8th, 2023, and it is later in the afternoon. So I've taken the chance to do two recordings because I'm not sure when I can get back in here again. And Chad, my husband, graciously done all of the errands today so that I can do some recording. So kudos to Chad. Thank you so much. Pixel's in her crate having an afternoon nap, and I get another chance to do a recording. This one's going to be talking about an ice yarns purchase that I made. I haven't ordered from Ice for a very long time. So they're always updating their lines that they sell, and it's an online store over in Turkey. So I jumped at the chance of trying some new to me yarns. I don't know how long these yarns have been on the market for. There is one that I can see that I have tried before, but this seems to be a new line of Rockstar that I haven't seen before. So I don't know when they introduced it, but new to me. Anyway, I'll talk about shipping, price points all in US currency, and except for one of the items of payment that I needed to make to get this delivery, and that was my FedEx brokerage charges. When Ice sent me the package through FedEx, it arrived at the border at Customs of Canada, and to get my yarn, FedEx charged me a brokerage fee for them to go down and collect the package from Customs and then clear Customs and bring it to me. So my shipping price that I'm going to mention in the purchase of this yarn will be twofold. One will be what Ice charged me for the shipping, and then there will be another smaller charge, actually it's not that small, of what FedEx charged me to get the yarn to me. All in all, I would say it balanced out in the end if I was to buy this yarn locally, which some of these yarns I probably wouldn't be able to find because they are unique. And I would say it balances up to a price point that is relative to me in my own area here in Canada. So yeah, shipment came in this FedEx package. It was the outer Shawl bag that survived the trip, and then inside the bag was another plastic bag here, a clear one, and as you can see I've opened it already just to make sure that all the yarn was in the order, and I was super excited because I really like the yarn. So I'll put that aside there. Made this order. I'm gonna see when the order went through. My email confirmation is saying the order was made May 31st. It has been with me for a while. It did ship to me within a record rocket launch of 5 days. I received it, 5 working days. And yeah, it's been with me for about, I'm gonna guess maybe a full month, maybe even 5 weeks. So I'm getting to it now to show you. Now, I have tried to reduce the amount of crinkling that's gonna happen by opening all of these packs, because Ice sells in packs of whatever it comes in. Like sometimes there is 2 to a pack, sometimes there's 4, all the way up to 8 and more, I guess, if you're buying lots of yarn together. But this one that I've got here is a pack of 4. And I've taken one out to reduce on the crinkling. The collection that I'm holding here is called Feliz Alpaca, and that's the name there. Hopefully you can read it. I'll just cover me so it can zoom in there. And the colorway is called Purple Blue. It has 4 balls in the pack. I've taken one out. It's very, very soft, and it has a marl effect to it. So there are the strands of both those colors, gray and purple together. I don't know, for some reason, I'm really drawn to purple lately, and it's not really a color that I gravitate to. I think it cycles through. So I sometimes like to use orange. I go through little stints of time when all I want to do is buy orange. Sometimes it's gray and neutrals, but this time around, I think purples are kind of, I'm gravitating to them. So if you need the number on the bag, here it is here. It's 77963. I'm reading it backwards. And it's really very soft. Yep. Let me read to you what is inside in the fiber and how much we get. So it's considered a lightweight 100 grams, or giving me 240 meters. It is 15% alpaca, 20% wool, and 65% acrylic. So it's a wool acrylic alpaca blend, and it's very soft. It does have a halo to it, and that's the strand there, loosely spun, and it looks to be a little roving because at some points the thickness scale gets a bit thicker, and in some parts it is a little thinner. There's a little sheen to it as well, and I'm going to rate this softness out of 5, maybe a 4, a 3.75 to 4. I think it's very soft, and you can wear this against your skin with no issues whatsoever. No undergarments required. The recommended knitting needle, and I guess I'm assuming crochet hook as well, is 4 millimeters, or a US 8. Is it an 8 or a 6? It looks like an 8. I love it so much. So the price point on this was $8.99 for the 4-pack, and that's in US currency. In a similar colorway, darkness and very rich, I chose this one here, and this one is in the same line, Feliz Alpaca, and the colorway is called gray. Gray, what is that? Anthracite black. Anthracite must be that kind of lighter bluish gray color. And I equally like this just as much. Same price point, $8.99 for all the 4. Oh, I should give you the package number here. It's 77960. Yeah, so I'm thinking of these ones could make really nice slip stitch pattern shawls, or I'd like to pair this with more of a stabilized color, maybe a solid or a tonal in a bright contrast, and have this marl effect sort of speak within the slip stitching color arrangement. I think that would look really pretty. Some of the things that I've seen that might fit into that category are the Nightshift shawl by Andrea Mowry, and if it's crochet, I would say like something to do with more of a mosaic type style crochet would look really nice as well. Moving right along to the next donut shape bundle that I have here. I was really excited about this line as well, to give it a go and try it out. So here it is here, and this is what it looks like. There's the label, Ice Yarns, and this one is called Rihanna Umbrella Ella. And I'm holding that upside down. There we go. So I equally think that this is just as soft as the previous one. If not, it has a bit more of a crunch factor. So when you squish like this, you feel something that's a little bit more stiffer or crispy. It's the only way that I can describe the kind of feel of it. There is a little bit of a squeak in there as well. So maybe there's cotton, I'm not sure. So this number, should you need it, is 77701. And that's the Rihanna in the colorway called Light Gray Blue. Love Ice's names. Makes it so simple, but very uncreative. So let's take a look at what it says here for the Rihanna Light Gray Blue. It says here it's wool and acrylic, but I don't know what the numbers are saying because they're kind of covered. It looks like 50 wool, 50 acrylic. So I'm quite surprised that it's so kind of like squeaky and crunchy. It is a 50-gram ball, which gives me 140, it looks like, meters. And they're suggesting here for knitting needle size 4mm to 5mm, and it is classified a 3 weight. Let's say it's probably a 2. I would probably treat that as a 2, maybe possibly a 3. Again, it is a marl type yarn, and I'm going to give it a softness factor, a 3.5 out of 5. And it has that little squeaky value to it. This, I'm not sure whether it would hold up very well with wear and tear and washing. The fuzz might be slightly peely, so to speak. So, but I'd like it. It's a nice yarn. And if you're looking for that sort of soft twist to the fibers, there you have it there. So let's see how well it holds up when you pull on each end. Very good. It's not bad. It's quite sturdy. No give to it at all. So yeah, that's that one. And that comes in 8 per pack. So 50 grams per ball, offering up 400 grams of yarn to use. So big enough project to do shawl, maybe. If you're choosing a simple stitch, you could get more larger shawl, but I'm going to say maybe a medium-sized shawl would be fine with the 400 grams. If you're to crochet it, you obviously will get something smaller than if you knit with it. So the next one that I want to show is similar. This one here, I think this one might be the same Rihanna, but in a different color. And this one here is called Light Gold, Light Gray. And I've taken one out. So again, 8 in the pack for this one. And the Rihanna is selling for $7.99 for the whole of the 8 pack. So there's another 50 gram, same specs. Let's take a look at this one. There we go. A little bit of a fuzz to it, bit of a halo. This one doesn't feel as crunchy as the blue and the white one. So I'm not sure whether the color, maybe the dye treatment is different. Different dye pigments might make the yarn slightly different finish at the end. But that's a nice clean yarn. Very nice. The next one I have seen in previous visits to Ice Yarn's website, and I'll include Ice Yarn's website down below. It's the Paradise, sometimes it's called Paradise Yarns, and those are the ones where you, like if you sign up for Ice Yarns, you'll get Paradise Yarns newsletters, and it's the same one in the same company that will feature the yarns that you purchase from iceyarns.com. So here is the one that I have seen before, but not in this colorway. So I wanted to have at it and try it out. And it's the Rockstar by Ice Yarns. There is the label there, and this is what it looks like. It's kind of fuzzier than the Rockstar that I'm familiar with. This is called Rockstar Metallic, and that's the number there, 64177. And the price point on the Rockstar is $9.99 for the 8 balls. This one is also rating, I'm going to give it a 3.75 out of 5 for softness, and I would be able to wear this against my skin with no undergarments required. Let's take a look at the ingredients. Each ball is 50 grams, so that's again offering up 400 grams in the pack. And let me take a look. So it's classified here as a, oh my goodness, I can't even read that. I'm going to give it, it's kind of like a 4 with the halo, and that's what it looks like there. So it's almost like ribbon yarn with a halo that's blown over into it. So it's chain spun, and they've got this very fuzzy yarn. So I would say pair this with a very large hook, even go up a size in what they're recommending, or a larger size of knitting needles. And here it says to use a, ooh, that might say, holy Toledos. It might be saying to use a 5mm set of knitting needles, but maybe you need to go up to a 6.5 with that type of halo on it. I suggest the higher or thicker needle or hook, because if you make a mistake with this and your stitches are very tight, or if you're working a complicated stitch back inside of itself, to pull this or front this back, it might get caught up on itself. Sometimes when you pair it with another smooth or sleek yarn, that prevents the catching of the fuzzy bits. Or if you use a larger hook size or needle size, you'll avoid some of that hanging up on itself if you need to rip it back to correct a mistake, or even just to have a nice flowing type fabric. So yeah, really like that. And the Rockstar again was $9.99, and I think I showed you the number, didn't I? 64177. There we go. Oh, if I forgot to show you the Rihanna in the second colorway that I showed, here is the number here. It is 78018. The last one that I have to show might be backtracking to the other line. No, this is a new line. I found this one in the clearance section of their website. They do have an area where their brands are being like discontinued, or a colorway that might not be made anymore. So I found this one in there, and it was slightly cheaper. It was 8 balls again of this 50-gram in each ball, so that's 400 grams all up. And it is called the Infinity line, and the color is called Gold Navy. Really liked the two colors in that. So again, I was thinking of putting this together with a sort of like a stable color and doing slip stitching or mosaic crochet. I think that will be wonderful and give it a nice rustic feel. Weathered look is what I love going for right now. And those two colors together, they're not so loud and vibrant. They're a little neutral. And I think that will mix really well with a contrast color. So let's take a look at what this Infinity is made up of. It's lightweight 3, and they're suggesting to use a 3mm set of knitting needles or crochet hook. It's 50 grams, offering up 200 meters, and it is 50% wool and 50% acrylic. So I like this feel. I think it's great. I would also give this a 3.75 out of 5. I could wear this against my skin with no undergarments required as well. It doesn't have any itch to it. And the number, 78180. Is it there? Very, very nice. And the price point on this one was $5.99 in US currency for 400 grams. It's really good. Now I'm moving on to, those were the donut shaped ones that I call donut shaped, but I also got some hanks. Now these were slightly a bit more expensive, the yarns, and I really wanted to try one of the lines out, but all of the yarn that I liked, the colorways, they were unavailable. So I put in a request for being notified when they arrive, because I did like that collection of yarn. It used animal fibers, superwash merino and nylon. So it gave really nice hand-dyed tonal effect over the color ranges. But I chose something that's very similar in the collection that I found. And this one here, excuse the crinkle, is a collection that is called Silk Merino Hand Dyed, and that's what it looks like. Very neutral color, This one I would say should be classified as a lace weight yarn. So I'm going to have to hold two of these together to maybe do a sock weight or a fingering weight. And the reason why I purchased this kind of neutral color is that I may like to try my own marling, choosing another color of yarn that's slightly thin. In my own collection, I've got a few that are sort of, they classify them as fingering, but they're really lace weight. And if I pair it with this neutral, I'll be able to thicken up those strands of yarn that are too thin for me to use, and I will be able to get this lovely marl effect. Now this is decadently soft, really, really lovely, and I'm going to classify this as being a 4.5 out of 5 for softness. Definitely can wear this directly to my skin with no itch factor at all. And I'll tell you a little bit about it. I'm getting 4 in this set here. So 4 of these lovely hanks, and it is classified oh, they're even saying it's a 2-weight yarn, which it's not true. It's quite thin. This is asking for a 3mm set of knitting needles or crochet hook, and it's also saying it's 80% superwash merino wool and 20% silk. So it's merino silk. I just love the diffuse of the color on this. And I bought some yarn from Temu, which is a cashmere base. So they say cashmere and wool. And this would pair lovely with that series of yarn, because it is also, I would consider that a lace weight yarn, and equally as soft as that. And I can pair these colors with that yarn as well. So 4 in the set, 50 grams per each of the hanks. So I've got 200 grams here to play with. And did I give you how much I get in there? It says here I'm getting 330 meters from 50 grams. So that does tell me it's a lace weight yarn. And this is the number here it should be needed. It is 73488. 73488. The price point of the yarn for that silk merino is $21.99 for 200 grams of that. I think that's a great deal, because I know that it's very, very soft, and it's comparable to the cashmere yarn that I got from Temu. Moving right along, I purchased a collection of yarn, and these are all, the last 4 that I'm going to show you are from the same yarn family. And this was the one that I was looking at that was a sister or similar to the collection that I wanted to purchase from, but I opted up for this one because it had the colors I wanted. It is called the Hand Dyed Merino EXT. I wonder what that is. Oh, extra fine. EXT. So I purchased them in 2 hanks, and each hank is 100 grams, so that's 200 grams all up. It is 77600, and this is in the color called it's called Chestnut. There it is there. Look at all those lovely flecks of different colors. When you turn and rotate this yarn, it's just lovely. It's lovely and soft. It's a fingering weight yarn. Now this is definitely a true classification of fingering weight yarn, and hopefully they say it's fingering, because I think it's fingering. No, they say it's sport weight. So I would, I would treat it as fingering weight yarn. So let's take a look at this. It is all these yarns, I should say, by the way, are made in Turkey. Ice yarns do have the majority of their yarn bases that originate and are manufactured on site in Turkey, and they're also dyed in Turkey as well. So let's take a look. It's saying here to use 3mm crochet hook or knitting needles, It's 100% superwash, extra fine merino wool. And I absolutely love the colors. This is great. Now, I bought another one called Deep Taupe. When I went online to look at all the color selections, Deep Taupe to me and Chestnut Brown looked different through the website. But I'm going to hold them up. And I think they're very similar with some slight differences, which is great for if I'm doing tonal work or looking to just get a subtle fade and change from the chestnut to a different color. And this is it here. It's called Deep Taupe. And that's the color there. Oh, I can see the difference now. It looks lighter. Oh, it's a dream. It's super duper soft. Now these are going in their 2-pack. 200 grams I'm getting, so 100 in each of the hanks for $14.99. I thought that was a great steal. And this is the previous one, which is the chestnut. So I can see that working out really nicely in a fade or in some type of neutral. If I got a punch of color, this would work really nice, these two. So I did get a punch of color, and this colorway here, did I give you the number to the teal? Sorry, the Deep Taupe. The Deep Taupe is 77179. And this color here was my pop. I didn't take one of these out, so I'll just take one out so you can see. It's a beautiful blue color, and it is called, let me look on my invoice here. It's called Princess Blue. Everybody loves a princess. Look at that beautiful blue. Holy Toledos. And it's tonal. It has like a nice speckling of different colors in there. Well, not colors, but tones. And it smells interesting. It doesn't smell like wool, but it has the smell of the dye, I guess, that's coming through. Now look at the three together. I'm not sure whether the blue would be too much for it. I don't know. Princess Blue. So what I did was I got another neutral, and it's in the color, what color is it? It's called Wild Dove. It's a gray color, and that's it there. Should you want the number, it's 77598. Take one out. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So now all my colors are, okay, maybe I don't need Princess Blue in that. Look at that. I think that would go really nice. 3 up, 3 kind of neutrally colors, giving me that weathered look. That could be it. The other thing I could do is mix Princess Blue with Wild Dove. That could work in a 2-color pattern. But you know what? I can't go past this. This looks amazing. I'm loving that. Absolutely. Chestnut, Dark Taupe, and Wild Dove. Sounds like a Prince song, doesn't it? The chestnut was roasting on a wild dove, and Dark Taupe. Actually, Dark Taupe wouldn't make a lyric in Prince's songs, I don't think. But yep, awesome. Now, that is all that I got, and I'm super pleased with everything. The surprise for me was maybe this one I would not get again, which is too fine. I had no idea that it would be as fine as it is, but I should have known to check the weight against how much I get inside each of the hanks, and I would have realized that it would have been a lace weight. But because I've got that Temu yarn or other yarn in my collection that is considered heavier, but is actually lace weight as well. I'm going to combine and mull together to make it slightly thicker so I can use the yarn. And my favorites of the choice for price point at $14.99 for 200 grams is these wonders. They're absolutely beautiful, and it's called the hand-dyed Merino Extra Fine collection. So I'm super happy with the colors that I got and also the quality of the yarn. Really nicely spun. I'm going to say it's probably a high twist on that spin, and it does have flexibility to it, so it does stretch a lot, and it's very nice. So that being said, I'm going to now shift to talking about how much they charge for shipping and how much FedEx charged me for the brokerage fees. And I'm hearing Pixel is waking up downstairs, so I'll be really super quick. Okay, the shipping for this was $53 to get all the way from Turkey to Canada. And I don't think that's a heavy value on the shipping costs. I have shipped even closer to the United States or across Canada, and I've paid likewise shipping for shorter distances. And FedEx had sent me a bill for going down to complete the customs forms, clear them. It's called a brokerage fee for a third-party courier, and they charged me 30 Canadian dollars on top of the order. So if I'm looking at the order, my shipping, including that brokerage fee from FedEx, was 80, probably somewhere between the vicinity of 70 and 80 US dollars, because the FedEx part of it was charged me using Canada currency or Canadian currency, and the shipping from Ice Yarns is actually in US dollars. So when I combine them and make them into US currency, it's probably somewhere sitting in the $70 range. And I think that threw my individual price points up a couple of bucks per each of these balls. And I still think it's quite a good deal. But if Ice Yarns could ship the yarn to me via their postal service, like public service in the post, I think I would buy more from Ice Yarns and more often. But I'm happy with the order. I'm happy with the shipping price that they charged me initially. The only thing I'm not happy with is that they chose FedEx, a third-party courier service, that I then had to pay the brokerage fee to get my goods. So with that, I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what your favorite ball of yarn was, what collection you thought was the nicest. Did you have a favorite colorway? And I'll catch you up in the next video. Bye for now.